Me, myself and bipolar Brenda. That's me. It's me telling my story, a single mother, trying to live the best life I can, with bipolar disorder, anxiety disorder, and all the other labels that they've given me.
It's so hard for anybody to tell you that it's going to be okay. But I always think about that John Lennon quote, you know, it'll be okay in the end, and if it's not okay, it's not the end. The world needs you. Even if you think it doesn't, the world needs you. There's something around the corner. There's someone you've not met yet. There's somebody from your past who needs you. You just don't know. You just don't know. So stick around, man. Stick around. So make sure that you speak out like Brenda. Take care.
My mama doesn't throw anything out. Each house I've cleared out's probably added to my OCD. She's had it hard with me saying, no, people don't understand. You've been like this since you were little. I feel sorry for her. The only child she ever had turned out to be all over the place. She drives me insane, my mum. Just sat in a chair, not really leaving the house. And it's hard because since the anxiety, I've struggled leaving the house so much also. I used to work in an office, so I'd be out every day, so a daily text messages wasn't so bad. This year has made me think I am really alone. It's just me, myself, bipolar Brenda, my old mum, my son, and my one-eyed pug. Mental health really doesn't give a fuck about who you put on or what your responsibilities are. It doesn't care. It'll let you fall fully to the floor if you let it and take everyone down around you at the same time. I am needed. I need to look after my mum and my son, and some days I can't even look after myself. And this is what terrifies me. How will I cope when the time comes and she's not here anymore? And also, how will that affect my bipolar? I think about this so much when I'm in a low. I am terrified of this. It consumes me like you wouldn't believe. I just don't know if I have that much strength left in me.
All shits and giggles. Till somebody giggles and shits. I had this idea to get all my journals together and share the bizarre, chaotic mindfucks and mixed emotions in me, myself, and bipolar Brenda. Ironic also that I decided to do this during one of the most difficult years of my life. A year in which I had more trips to A&E than I had nights out. When they start handing you an ECG card as soon as you get to an A&E reception, you know life is pretty fucked. Becoming a monthly thing, this. Me thinking I'm dying. Hitting 30 has not been all shits and giggles. Well, to be honest, it's been a hell of a lot of shits. Because the physical anxiety I've had this year doesn't care if you stood in Tesco's bread aisle and your stomach goes to literal shit. As you convince yourself you're either going to die or have a heart attack. Shitting yourself seems a less painful option, really. Just does absolutely nothing for your image, though. I do that a lot, you know. I make jokes about myself and my illness to try and cover up how I'm really feeling. i.e., scared, really. To bare my soul to you. To come across even more nuts than I already am. If I tell you I'm damaged, will you love me or leave me? That sort of thing. Oh, fucking hell, Tasha. You're not writing a love song. Ease up on the quotes. I mean, that copyright stuff's a fucking minefield. Anyway, back to shitting myself.
being depressed and having racing thoughts at the same time. It's like worrying about all that you have to do but having no energy to do it. Frantically wanting to understand something or get something done but having zero energy to do anything about it. It's horrendous for me. Because you become so drained and your energy's so low, you feel like you're never going to be able to achieve anything. But still, they run over and over in your mind. I feel exactly like that now as I write these words. Not getting out what I want onto the page, frustrating me and making my breathing heavy, my inhalations turn into anger as I battle inside. I could close my eyes and go to sleep right now. Just rest my head and sleep long and deep. I felt unstoppable last night. Unstoppable. If only I could control that feeling, bottle it, learn how to use it, I'd be like a superhero. Bipolar Brenda in a shiny light-filled cape. Her quest is to make people see bipolar as an actual superpower. I'd like that a lot. I like to think I'm funny. I've definitely always found comfort in looking for the funny side in this illness, that's for sure. I think you have to. Absolutely. Depression isn't fucking funny at all. Especially when you know how much you can achieve in 24 hours if you're not feeling like you want the world to open up and let you out. In all honesty, I write this now depressed. I've not much interest in anything at the minute, to be honest. The only thing getting me through is this writing of me, my innermost everything. I learned early on that you have to grab hold of anything that gives me a little bit of light, no matter how dark I feel. As I said before, even if you're the only person that ever reads this book, that's okay. Because this book has been my light. And I hope it shines on you.
If it wasn't for my dad, I actually wouldn't be here. And I don't mean due to the obvious reasons, I mean because he found me when I passed out. Knocked out as I hit my head on the TV stand, choking on my own sick. You know, the funny thing about that night, my dad hadn't taken his usual dose of sleeping tablets, so he heard me when I fell hard as he hit the deck. But obviously, I don't remember any of this. To be honest, the first thing that I remember is waking up in the hospital. And if you ask me why I did it and was it a cry for help, well, clearly I didn't think that I could be helped. At 14, I didn't even think about killing myself. Well, I don't think I did. The only thing I remember is that feeling of, I just don't want to be here. Everything felt so intense. Felt like I couldn't keep up with it. I suppose then, that was the time I experienced my first episode of severe depression. I was under a child psychologist, a lovely Jewish man that used to tell me to count up to 10 purple elephants just before I was having a bad thought, or that I was going to get angry or worry about something. I'm not sure why elephants, or why purple. But he was so lovely I didn't have the heart to tell him that it didn't work. So I used my acting skills to good effect. Now when I got to 16 though, I just became really self-obsessed. If I'm honest, I was out every weekend and I didn't think there was anything wrong with me. I'd forgotten about the overdose and the fact that there could be something wrong with my mind. I was just all or nothing. But that's okay, isn't it?
Chapter 16. Don't try to stop them. Keep the bad habits and addictions, but keep doing Kundalini yoga every day. Eventually they will just fall away. Yogi Bhajan. I waited to type the journal up of my Ibiza trip to my Kundalini yoga retreat I did alone in 2019 as one of the last things to sit and write. Because for me, throughout all the darkness this year, this was such a beautiful, special time for me, going back to Ibiza and to my little yurt. Ibiza warms my heart, fills my soul, and teaches me so much for my higher self. If I had a 10-year plan, it would be to live on that magical island. I've done 2 amazing 40-day meditations this year with my LA tribe. When I said on my 30th birthday I wanted to have more soul and less ego this year and do more Kundalini yoga, I can safely say I really have. I have worked, and despite the darkness, appeared in a feature film and a BFI short film. I got myself back on a stage and did one of the best performances of my life. And I've met some of the most amazing people I now couldn't imagine my life without.
I've always dreamt of a Kundalini yoga retreat. I had one on my little vision boards that I used to do back in 2014. Actually, it was a picture of India. But when I was in the self-realization meditation gardens in LA, it was just like one of my little pictures. I remember saying to myself, I felt like I'd been here before. Anyway, back to Ibiza. It was amazing. From the little yurt, to the teacher, to the people that I met. Even the raw vegan food to a degree. Actually, I struggled like fuck with the food, to be honest. Or lack of it. I kept sneaking out, getting lemon Fanta and Cheetos and taking them back to my room and eating them. I mean, as amazing as it was, it really challenged me. And I felt in and over my head at times. I mean, for the first 3 days, I really struggled. I was so hungry. And there was lots of yoga. And trust me, Kundalini yoga is intense. That's probably why I like it so much. Anyhow, around tea time, about the 3rd day, the last bloke left on the retreat brought me up my dessert to my room. So after about 3 days, I wasn't sitting down with people eating meals, nah. Felt soft, didn't I? Playing around with the food like a spoiled child. I say, I really struggled with the food. I just wasn't used to it. Anyhow, he knocks on my care flaps. So I gets my lemon Fanta and my crisp, puts them under my bed, you know. He's only brought me the raw vegan mousse. Mind you, he did decorate me plate with some beautiful rose petals. I actually like the mousse. First thing in 3 days that I did like. Apart from the pop and the crisp.
This year had been painful. I had to go back onto medication. I felt like I'd failed. I was weak. All the work I'd done was for nothing. And I was dependent now on anxiety tablets to even get me out the door, to get me to my safe place at the gym. I'm used to having an anxiety attack every now and then, although this year it was every day. Every day. I thought I was dying. I remember driving to football with Louis, getting this pain in my ear around April. I felt my chest go tight and I felt like I was going to be sick. I've had anxiety attacks before, but this was different. It was not just one part of my body, it was my eyes, my ears, my legs. Every part of me was out of control. I was too scared to move. I sat in the car, tapping my EFT bands, absolutely terrified. I needed to get home, but Louis was playing football. It was the longest hour of my life. I managed to walk into the hall. Felt like I was going to shit myself. Like I didn't have control over my body. And it didn't stop that day either. Continued for 3 weeks. Just before I was about to make Louis' dreams come true and travel to a late stay with Reese. I was even wetting myself because I couldn't control my bladder or my bowels when the attacks hit. I am 30 years old and I can't leave the house because I think I'm dying or soiling myself.
2016. Sometimes love isn't enough. Look, Tasha, you're not second best, but I can't deal with how paranoid you get. It's hard. I know I've fucked up, but you make things harder than what they are. If you think I'm sleeping with her, then that's your own mind overthinking the situation, and if I am, so what? You've made your feelings quite clear. You ruined it, Tasha, not me. I've tried, and you just push me away because you make shit up in your head, so it must be true. Why should I be straight with you? Look how you treat me, Tasha. You push me away. I know I've been a cunt in the past. I didn't mean to hurt you. But you don't deserve peace of mind from me. 2018, all the world's a stage. You have to understand, Tasha, I didn't know you when we met. I didn't know how you would react over certain things. I was oblivious to it all. I didn't even know whether I was coming or going. My head was fucked with it, too. I'm really sorry for how I treated you. It was a mad few years and I apologise you got hurt. But listen, I'm not sitting there going over the past 5 years. You're not an angel yourself, you know. You told me you would always fuck me off for John. The thing is with you, Tasha, the reason we can't work is because you can't let the past go. I don't think you ever really wanted me, Tasha. All you've done since you got pregnant is push me away, and I know I've hurt you many times. I know you stood by me when I had nothing, and when I had a baby behind your back. Not many would have done that, Tasha, but I don't want to get back into a situation where we end up hating each other. You know I'm not a cunt intentionally. Sorry for the way I've been in the past. Yeah, Tasha, I know what you're getting at. I understand the reference to the plate. Tasha, I'm not sitting there analysing the past 5 years. You've done and said some horrible things to me too. Anyway, you don't love me anymore. You've already told me that. The thing is, you can't let the past go. And I've fucked up in the past, but you can't keep holding a gun to me, Tasha, for the rest of my life. I did love you, Tasha. Don't think I didn't, but you're too much. And I can't deal with this paranoia. I'm sorry.
Hey, they call me Lucky. Lucky Louie. If it wasn't for Louie, my beautiful son, I can hand on heart tell you I wouldn't be sat here writing this now. My little boy has kept me going. He's kept me alive. I owe him my life. Should that be the responsibility of an 8-year-old? No. Do I live with guilt that he's had to grow up and witness his own mum go through episodes of bipolar all his life? Yes. Now, it's not enough to rob me of a normal existence, but for my own baby boy to have that snatched from him without his consent, that's how cruel this disease is. Louie's never known any different, and that hurts just as much. I feel ashamed even now, because of the anxiety attacks that come out of absolutely nowhere. I've been relying on him a lot more also. Sometimes I feel like I'm the child, he the parent. I know I need to nip this in the bud before it gets completely out of hand.
However, I did fall in love with a massive passion and saviour this year. Powerlifting. Yeah, powerlifting would become something I would eventually write about if I ever did write the book. I had bought a laptop, but spell check and grammar are just not my thing. And also, I mean, what would I actually really write about? Anyway, back to the powerlifting. Yeah, I didn't really mention it much last year, but I've kind of gotten a thing now for lifting heavy weights. Obviously, I've been weight training since 2014, but I mean, I wasn't doing it properly, and I really wanted to learn how to. I had heard about this trainer, Anthony. He was a powerlifter, and he had been at the Worlds in Miami. So I approached him one day in the gym as he was on his way to the toilet. Excuse me, are you the guy who teaches the deadlifting? Yeah, that's me. Well, can you teach me how to deadlift, please? My name's Tasha, by the way. He looked terrified. I mean, I don't know if that was me or if he was touching cloth, maybe. But he did really seem to want to get to the toilet, and I mean, he didn't know me by this point, so it couldn't have been wanting to run away from me. Yeah, add us on Facebook. Okay. What's your name? Anthony. Anthony what? Oh
God, it's mad thinking of that moment, because sitting here now with everything I've achieved this year, it's pretty impressive. Especially with my antics. Powerlifting, it hasn't just made me feel physically strong, it's made us feel mentally strong as well. This bloke said to Ant, "She's strong for a little person." And he replied, "But she's become a different type of strong. She's mentally strong." I have overcome a lot of fears with it. I mean, I wouldn't even jump on one of the smaller boxes when I first got to the gym, and now I'm hurdling up the big buggers. Anthony, who trains us, he's been a lifesaver.
Please let this be the last year. Me feeling like a total fuck up. Love is painful, and all it ends up bringing is rejection. Is that too negative? This is the last year of my 20s. I haven't had a healthy relationship in over a decade. Please let this be the last. I just want a normal relationship. I can't go on like this anymore. And it's hitting me harder because I turn 30 in a few weeks. And I have potential, and now what? I don't want to settle. I just want someone that wants the same thing as me. I'm too much, aren't I? But I can't take this anymore, the lies. Why is there always someone else? Why am I not enough? You can probably tell by this that I'm a fucking idiot, and I got back involved with Jamie. I hate myself. Never felt this bad in a long time. And I can't see a way out, and I just want him. That's all I want. I don't get why I'm back like this, and I'm so low. But my mind's just like, it's racing at the same time. Fuck this. We all have weaknesses, and we all repeat the same mistakes. I don't judge anyone. Just always listen and be there. And in 2019, I just want to consistently be on the right path. Please. P.S. Everybody needs a therapist. And a dog.
When I won the competition, Louis stood up on one of them, them platform things. And he looked up at me and he said, "Mummy, I am so proud of you. I knew you could do it." And for that first time in my life, I felt like I'd succeeded as a mum, as a human being. He is proud of me.
And it didn't matter what anyone else thought. I didn't even care about my medal. There is nothing that could compare with my little boy looking up at me and saying that. And I have from that day on made it my business to keep doing that. Because he deserves a mum that he can be proud of. He really does. I am so proud of him. And not just because he's from me. It's because of who he is. And his little soul. Sorry. So, even after the psychiatrist's assessments and their kind words of trying to get me back on medication, I made it. Another year out of hospital. And I'm still here to tell the tale, even if some of it is a bit fucking embarrassing. Fuck it though. I know where I went wrong. I mean, nobody's perfect, are they? Especially not fucking me. I'm just trying like everyone else is. Just winging it, I suppose.
Sorry, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at this. Did you think you were going mad? We're all going mad. All going mad. Are you scared? We're all scared. Everybody's scared. What is it you're scared of again? What is it you're scared of? Death. You're scared of dying, is that it? Yeah. Maybe this is a time for you to face your fears. To face what it is you're scared of. Maybe it's a time to face your fucking self.
September 15th. I ended up back with Jamie. I'm sat here tonight though wondering why. Because when we departed again in May, I seemed to fly high with acting and my meditation classes. He's been out all over Christmas. Barely see him. His presents are still under the tree. He caused World War III in the summer. I was so happy. I had just landed a role in a great TV show, Prey, and he just didn't seem arsed or pleased for me at all. Came up to me, accusing me of shagging his cousin's mate. I don't know if he's depressed. Where's my bipolar head? But something doesn't seem right.
I decided to go to the Buddhist Centre in Manchester City Centre on my own last week to ask about this meditation thing that my dad's been going on about. I felt a bit out of place. The bloke behind the desk, he looked at me as though I'd just strolled in all lost and confused, which I had. I wasn't sure what to expect, so I thought I might at least make an effort, even though I felt like a gremlin who was being weaned off crack for the last 3 months. Okay, can I just confirm that I would never try crack? I mean, the bipolar meds was an experience enough for me. I'm not sure who was more uncomfortable, him or me. To be honest, I felt a bit fucking stupid just stood there staring at him. Can I help you? He said. I don't think he expected what I was about to vomit out. I don't know if you can help me, mate, but I am been well. I've got like this chemical imbalance in my head. It's called bipolar disorder. And they gave me this medication for it, like, and I went from feeling like too much to like nothing at all. And I have these like mood swings, and I'm always angry. Well, you know, sometimes I'm happy, but I get a bit wild and I get obsessed about buying clothes that I don't need and bags. And I feel like I'm just like pushing everyone away. And I've got this little baby and I'm finding it a bit of a struggle to bond with him. I mean, Dad, now he was an addict and he turned to Buddhism. And at first I just thought it was a load of shite, you know. But I looked at that thing, The Secret, and they mentioned meditation. So I looked into it and I thought to myself, that it could be, it's a sort of, can you teach me, please? And breathed. Poor bugger looked petrified. I think he wanted to ring someone and get me removed from there. And then he said to me, I can't teach you that. I'm just a volunteer who works here on a Saturday.
8th of November 2014. I remember a psychologist, not the purple elephant one, said to me once, set yourself a small task a day to focus on. Right, this one spoke a lot of sense. Because I'd learned that setting yourself a challenge each day towards something, well, it's actually like training your mind. Well, either that, or I'll just get obsessed again with being able to do the challenges that I set myself. To be fair, it's probably it, innit? See, I get fixated on things, and that's it. Nothing else matters. I was feeling a little bit confused about things regarding relationships and the time I'd spent with Jamie this year. How I went from being so intense to me not really feeling anything towards him. Got me thinking about Louis' dad, and how I struggle with letting go, being too much and then not being interested. So I decided to set myself a challenge. The pose of a crow in yoga. I've given myself till Christmas to perfect it, and I've practiced every single day. And to be honest, I have never fallen on my face so much in my life, and it fucking hurts. Falling forward, splattering face first on the floor. And once I got over the fear of hitting the deck, well, I've kept at it. And today, I finally did it. I felt so proud because I've done all this in just 2 weeks. You know, I mean, I've got a long way to go, but I'm starting to see that with small steps, the mind can be changed, and so can the body. And I do feel, since starting on this journey of trying to self-heal my chemical imbalance without medication, that I am losing parts of me that I didn't like. They aren't really me. The jealousy, the hurt, the anger.
Journal 2019. I had a lot of guilt reading it back. I also wasn't sure if I wanted to expose the fact that I was on an absolute mad one. But I also didn't know why I was. I thought this year was just fun, but I have learned that I didn't deal with the previous pain. I learned I wasn't aware that bipolar had gone into manic Mandy. And I've also learned that flying high like that and drinking isn't good for me. I now know drink isn't. Reading this back, I have seen how when this illness latches onto something, it doesn't let go very easily. The one thing I am grateful for in this year is the fact that I faced my fear of doing a powerlifting competition and did well. And that I still managed to take my son on holiday and enjoy that time. It's funny sitting here now writing this because even though I have still consumed a fair bit of drink, I haven't been near anyone. Well, only one person. I have not been out at all, really. I think about 3 times. which resulted in me coming home early because I felt anxious. I didn't end that year sad. I was still pretty high when I wrote it, really. It just goes to show me how out of control I can get, which just scared me because it's not even about me. It's who you hurt and how much you're just so wrapped up in yourself at times with it. I didn't write this book to blame everything on bipolar. I wrote it to look back and bring awareness to what's helped and what's not. And as fun as it was, this manic phase, it did absolutely nothing for my character and mind. However, the powerlifting did a lot for my soul.
I think in some ways I can get consumed on finding new meditation, right? And in some ways that can just cause me frustration. And I don't think that's what meditation's about, is it? Yeah. But hey, I went to a Kundalini yoga class this week for the first time. I went on my own. And there was a teacher and some hippie type guy there, right? I felt like a bit of a twat, really. Didn't know what to expect. Anyway, I've put my yoga mat and stuff down, popped to the loo. And when I've come back, the hippie guy sat on my mat. And I don't like anyone else sitting on my mat, to be honest, because I don't want anyone else's energy on it. I also don't want anyone else's manky sweat that I don't know on my mat either, to be frank. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because in some ways, my yoga mat's become a really precious thing to me in recent times, because when I'm struggling in the day, I can just simply take to my mat. Yeah. And Kundalini yoga is this yoga that you sort of do with your eyes closed. So you're sort of in a meditative state throughout. And that's all I really know about it, to be honest. But you chant a lot as well, actually. A lot, which I like. And yeah, got through it. It's not as physically demanding as normal yoga. She even had us dancing with our eyes closed at one point. I felt like one of them mad 90s ravers at a festival on acid. I was like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? Okay. But you know what, to be fair, I came out on a real high. Yeah. And just, to be frank, I'd never take acid. Never have, never will. Way too much of a head fuck, even for me. Wow. But yeah. You know, I felt really on edge recently. But I think now I'm starting to I don't know, understand and relate to my emotions a bit more, I guess. So yeah. Turning that madness into magic, eh?